Okay, today we're going to do skill check 1, which is our knife cuts. We're doing our oblique, our chiffonade, our bias, and then if you want to do an extra cut, you may do that. We want to make sure that your stations are all set up. You'll see the rubric. I'll give that to you guys tomorrow. Most of you guys will have your cutting boards already anchored, which means you have those little rubber feet on the bottom. In this case, I don't have that, so it's going to slide. So I'm going to place a damp cloth underneath. This will anchor it, keep it in place. Okay, next thing we're going to do it with carrots. We're going to do a oblique and we're going to do a bias cut. You'll really need 1.5 carrots. So again, proper way to peel your carrot. So you're going to go start at the top and rotate and twist, or you may just go like that. Whatever works for you. Just make sure we're not making divots in it like that. Okay. So this will be part of it, making sure you peel, making sure you have all your stations set up, cutting board, knife is sharpened. Again, peel, carrot, rotate, or straight down, whatever works, get the end. The other one is going to be the chiffonade, which you guys are going to use lettuce. I happen to have some spinach. We'll do that after. All right, for the oblique, again, cut off the end. The whole idea of the oblique is to get it all the same size. So as you see, the carrot is kind of a little bit smaller and it makes itself a little fatter on the end. We want to make sure that that fat end is also the same size as the skinny end. In order to do that, you got to adjust your angle. So what I'm doing is I'm going to give it a 1/4 turn. I'm going to cut it at an angle. Again, we see we have the same size. 1/4 turn, angle, same size. Okay, 1/4 turn, angle. Now we have to lessen the angle. Okay, to get it the same size, same size. 1/4 turn. That's why it's called a roll cut. You can basically roll it back and forth if you choose. Okay, same size, same size. Again, we want them all about the same size. In order to achieve that, you have to lessen the angle. So I'll give you an example here. First, I'll cut one more so that it's about the same size. And again, to the eye. Those all look about the right size. Let's say I didn't do it towards the end. Okay, so then I'm going to have a bigger cut, as you can clearly see on this. Okay, so again, this angle goes right here. You're going to cut right in here, right about halfway through, not at the other end. In order to do that, you'll get about the same size by doing it that way. Okay, so there we go. Lessen the angle. 1/4 turn, lessen the angle. 1/4 turn, lessen the angle. And you've got the same size right here, as opposed to that one that's a little bit larger. So then when you guys are cutting, you're going to go ahead and place them in at least 6 to 8 into the oblique square. And there's your oblique. This is probably going to be the more challenging one, but it's actually pretty easy. It's more about consistency and size than actual size. Okay, now we're going to do the bias, which is really easy as well. But again, we're looking for consistency and thickness. So again, keep them all about the same thickness, whatever you choose, whether you want to do an 1/8 inch cut, a 1/2 inch cut, 1/4 inch cut, 1 inch cut. It's up to you. So we're going to cut it in half lengthwise. And all we're doing, again, bias cut, we're cutting at an angle. Okay, so I'm going about an 1/8 inch, so we want to stay with that 1/8 inch. Okay, so in other words, an example of if I didn't do that, I cut it a little bit thicker, then we have something that's not going to be consistent. If you should run into that problem, you have pretty much enough here to get what you need, and you can stop right there or just pick out your best ones. And all we're looking for is at a bias cut, which is basically like that. So as far as the size this way, doesn't matter. We're just looking at the size of the thickness, not so much the size of how big it is. Okay. So then we go ahead and put that onto your bias, and these will be laminated for you guys. So you put those in. Again, if you choose to pick your best ones, most consistent, you may do that as well. And then finally, we are doing our chiffonade. I've got some spinach that I will be using. You guys will be using more than likely iceberg lettuce. And all we're doing here, and I'm going to get several leaves for your chiffonade. And all we're looking for is making sure that your knife is really sharp and that they're basically the same size and thickness. So you basically gather them and you roll it up and then get your knife, and basically about the same thickness. And there you go, there's your chiffonade. We'll put that on here and you're good. Extra cut, if you want to do one, that's up to you. Okay, so there you go. You have your 4 cuts, your 3 cuts.